This video is about the access control system. The main access control system is two tables. These are the role table and the user table. You can find them in System Tables, Access. And we start with the roles table. Here we create a role. This is just a text field. It is desirable that they have different names. There is no such a requirement, because internally in the system they are referenced by id. But it is important that you can distinguish these roles. Next, you can assign full table access or read-only access to the table here. And also access to hide the table from the tree, so that the table is not shown to this role in the tree. You can assign a table with one cycle. I'll talk about it in the advanced part on cycles. And assign favorite tables that will be added to the user by default. What are favorite tables? When you go over here, by clicking on the schema header here, you'll have a list of tables that are displayed on the start screen, and the user can assign them himself by clicking on a star, and remove them. When you set them up here, they are assigned to the new user who is given those roles. You can also assign temporary tables to the start screen to make that even the set on the start screen is also assigned to the user directly when you have them listed here. When you assign that role to a user, they are added there automatically. And it's not managed only here. We can control it through table settings. In the table settings, this is the part change access, read access, and hide in the tree access. Change access overrides read access. That is, we don't need to assign the same role to read and change. If a person is assigned a change access role, then read access is on. Read access means that the user will see the table in the tree and be able to navigate to it and use the pre-filters, but will not be able to change fields values and will not be able to click buttons. In order for him to be able to click a button, it has to be specially turned on. Here is the button. For the button you need to put this parameter in the action code section. It is necessary to tell that the button is accessible at viewing. Otherwise the button will not be available when viewing. Let's go back to the table settings. Hide roles in the tree means that the user will have access to this table by the condition set here. That is, to read or to read and change. But it will not be shown in the tree. So he won't be able to click here. When you change here, the corresponding roles are given settings here. Next, users are already created. These are specific users with usernames, passwords, and their activity, to whom the roles are already assigned directly. One or more roles can be assigned. Here, role 1 is assigned. In fact, 2 roles or 3 roles or 4 roles can be assigned. What happens when one role has change access to a table and the second role has read-only access to that table? Here the read and modify accesses work on the upside. That is, if we have a set of roles and one role only reads and the second role modifies this table, then the user will have modify access. Hiding in the tree works the other way. Downgrading works. That is, if one role has this table hidden, then even if you have assigned others that do not have tree hiding, the table will still be hidden from the tree. What else can I say about users? Logins are case sensitive. If you set email and in the settings here main, settings and crons, settings, set that it is possible to restore password via email, then users who have filled in the email can restore it for themselves. This is needed if you have a large number of users, and you, as an administrator, don't want to have to deal with handing out new passwords. Also, the user can use it instead of a login for authorization if she has a filled-in email. If a user is disabled in this way, he will not be able to log in. And if he was logged in, the next action of refreshing the page will close his session and he will lose access to the system. Also happens if you delete, that is hide the user. In this case they are stored here in the hidden part. Hidden users are also inactive. This is the parameter used for temporary or visible deactivation. And if you want to delete some old users, you delete through hide, and they will be in the hidden part hangs there. Even if the user is hidden or disabled, you will see in the log the name of the user who was active at the time of the action when it was logged. There is also an API interface in addition to the web interface. It will be covered in the API section. Here we see the last activity, the last actions of this user. And here we see the favorite tables of users. Also by users we can see the table of authorizations. By specifying the date interval, we can see the authorization status and the IP from which the login was made. We can also see the number of users online. Here we set the interval for which we are checking. What is online? Online is activity of a tab. That is, if a user has an active tab, no matter whether the mouse is moving or not, notifications are checked. And by these notification checks, the system knows that the user is online. If he minimized the window, went to another tab, and this tab is not totem, the notification request is disabled and, thus, the activity is not detected. And also all actions that are written to the log, I'm only talking about logatable actions, are written to the user log table. And here you can see what happened to you. Now I was changing in the roles, in the users table. And we can see that it was a change action and what values I entered. That's all about users. You don't have to practice anything here, just jump to the next video.